Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of English with Sarvi. I remember that we discussed starting our own brand during the spread of the coronavirus in my last video. I've gathered some more information that I want to give you. I will go directly into those steps. The first thing that I found out through Yossi's podcast, you can find her page here, and her website, I guess, is lingami.com. I will put both the addresses in the description box so you can access them easily. I found out about Italki. For English teachers, it could be awesome to use Italki in order to teach. You can use it in any country that you are right now, and you can earn dollars. This is very important, especially for teachers in my own country that earn too little for the classes right now. The interesting thing which gathered my attention right away was this. I found out on how to be an Italki teacher that Italki does not discriminate based on sex, race, or location, which is really important because due to all the sanctions that are upon us in some special countries, my country included, Iran, this is an opportunity. But I haven't done it yet. I am filling in a form right now to find out more. They say that in 2 weeks' time they will contact me and they will respond to my application form, so I have to wait a little to see what happens. And I think that it would be great to know the common reasons for declined applications. This one is really important. You need to complete your application form. You need to have, a great profile picture. By great, we don't mean you need to look a certain way. We just mean that it needs to follow their guidelines. And you need to have introduction videos. You can see introduction videos through oteacher.org too, because right now oteacher is doing something like this in Iran. You need to have a written introduction, and you need to stop promoting other pages, other applications in there. And also you need to have the minimum age requirement. It means that you need to be 18 years old or above that. And also, you need to avoid using your personal contact information. It's just for your own safety and keeping your own privacy. The other thing that I want to talk about is what I learned through Ms. Afkhami's webinar, which was about how to teach English online. I learned a lot. I will divide them into different categories and tell you about it right now. The first thing she talked about was different ways of having online classes and having classes using internet. The first one is synchronous, the second one is asynchronous, and the third one is a mixture of both of them. The fourth one is blended. Now, what I mean by synchronous online courses is that you can see your student through Skype or Google Hangout or even oteacher.org, the website. It means that you set a certain time and a certain date, then you see your student and you have a class for an hour or an hour and a half together. And the second one is asynchronous. I assume you've experienced this one in Payam Noor University if you live in Iran. If you live in other countries and you have the same thing, which I guess you might have it in different countries too, please share your experience with us in the comment section and tell us how it works in your country. But here, usually the professor sends a pre-recorded voice message through WhatsApp or Telegram to students. They have to listen to that pre-recorded voice message, and then they have a week or 2 weeks to go back to the professor with the exercises and homework. This one could be cool too, but what we need more than anything these days is a mixture of synchronous and asynchronous classes. We cannot really go for blended courses because, in blended courses, we need to have some face-to-face classes, some Q&A classes for students to solve their issues with different topics. But right now, due to the spread of the coronavirus, it's somehow impossible. So we can use synchronous online courses and asynchronous, which is a bit traditional. Remember that there are a lot of challenges in the way. The first one is that in some underprivileged areas, students don't even have Gmails. And in order to, access these platforms, students need to at least have an email or a Gmail, okay? I say Gmail because you will be able to use Google Docs, Google Slides, and Google Sheets, Google Forms in order to facilitate your class, and I will talk about them later. But the students are supposed to have an email that you can just start your class with them. And you cannot get mad at them if they don't, and if they don't even know how to make an email for themselves. You need to guide them. You need to go through it together step by step. So sending a welcome to my class email to them at first could help you a lot in order to just understand if your students have technical issues or if they don't know how to access your class. I got distracted for a moment because I was remembering my own experience with Ms. Aframi's webinar. I really count on myself. I rely on myself when it comes to technologies. I have a YouTube channel, I work on Instagram, I have online courses right now. But for a moment, I guess 10 minutes before the start of the webinar, I was like, where is the link? How should I access the webinar? And for a moment, I guess I just lost it. I sent her a DM and I asked her how to connect and come to the class. Let's forget about the fact that I had even gone through her stories, the one that she had explained everything through a video. So everything had been illustrated before, but again, I asked the question. See? Even for someone who is experienced about this. I just want you to know my own experience. And how she responded me, it was amazing. She typed, "Dear, I have put it on my stories." See how kind and caring the sentence is. It is not humiliating me, and it is kind, it is caring. It doesn't make me feel bad about myself, which is really important. You need to do the same with your students. Humiliating them when they don't know how to access your webinar, your online class, how to even make an email account is just going to make them feel bad about themselves, which we don't really want that in any kind of classes. And the other thing is that don't forget energizers. I myself, let me tell you my own experience. I had a class with one of my students. It was a writing session. We were working on essay writing, and at the end of the session I found myself teaching and my poor students learning for about 2 hours. When the class finished, let me tell you my own experience. I don't know about her. Kimia, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry, really, for what I did to you. But I found myself on my chair. I wasn't able to move. I wasn't able to walk. I had cramps, muscle cramps, all over my body. And I understood that, okay, something is not right. So be careful. Sometimes ask your students to stand up, sit down, take a selfie from themselves, or even I did this with one of my students last night. I asked her to take a picture of her dog and send it to me, or I don't know, drink a glass of water, tell me in her mother tongue language how her day was. Do something that can reduce the tension of an online class, because we know that in a real classroom we can have eye contact with our students. We can even tap on their shoulder from time to time, ask them to sing for us, dance for us, and things like that. Not dance for us, dance with us. It's not proper to ask people to dance for you, but I hope that you get my point. The other thing that you need to be aware of is that you will have different types of learners in your classes, just like a real classroom. You will have some newcomers that I talked about them. You need to just step by step help them what to do, how to access the software. You need to even praise them afterwards. You need to give two types of feedback to them. The first feedback would be for how they are using the software and how they are developing, they're improving and using the software, and the other one would be for the use of the language, for sure, just like a real classroom. And the second one, the second type of people will for sure be the facilitators, the cooperative ones, the ones that can help you. How can I explain this? These people not only know what to do, how to access your class, how to use different tools of the softwares that you use, but they will help others too. They will send direct messages, go to other people's private messages and tell them how to do it themselves too. And as a teacher, I guess you know how to use these people in your own classrooms. And you've got other types too. The initiators, the ones that will tell you how to access other media, you know. They know exactly what to do with this software, this application. They will even tell you, teacher, have you heard of this application? Have you heard of that software that you can use in order to edit your videos and all? So, wow. You can get help from these people even in your own process of teaching, which is amazing. And the other thing which was discussed, and I really loved it, was two strategies. I hope that I can call them strategies because it does sound like a strategy in my mind. PBL and CP. PBL stands for problem-based learning, which I talked about it in the beginning of my video, I guess. I talked about how you shouldn't use, if I haven't talked about it, I will talk about it right now. I cannot really remember, but you should avoid using the PDF of the book, the whole page of the book, when you are teaching synchronous online courses. You know, students can get bored easily, so you need to just challenge them during the session using the asynchronous method. Send the videos, send the audios, send, I don't know, tell them to read the reading before the class, and then during the session try to challenge them. From my own experience, I can tell you that analyzing different vocabulary items in the class doesn't even work. At least it didn't work with one of my own students. So maybe, I don't know, maybe from next session I will tell her to take a look at the vocabulary items before the class, and then during the session I will provide some interactive speaking questions, speaking topics for her to produce the language, produce the vocabulary items in a better context. And the other thing which was discussed, and I really loved it, was CP, which stands for constructive principle. You need to be connected, you need to stay connected with your students. You don't have to be online day and night answering students' questions. I know it can become frustrating, you know, they can ask questions 24/7, but you can build up principles. You can say that every night at 11 p.m. I am online, and you can ask as many questions as you want, I will answer them. And really do that. If you are not loyal to the rules that you yourself make them, then things can become messy when you ask for homework. And And in the end, some apps and softwares were introduced that I will name them quickly, and I guess that you yourself can Google them and find out more about them, find out how they can help you in a real classroom. So I will name them very fast. Here I have, I guess I talked about these: Google Sheet, Google Docs, Google Slides, and Google Form. I think that Google Docs can help you a lot if you have writing sessions, if you are preparing a student for IELTS exam and you want to work on their writing skills, because two people can type at the same time using Google Docs. And the other ones are Animoto, Snapspeed, Voki, Fonto, InShot. I use InShot on a daily basis. I love it. I use it to edit my videos. And Keynote, Prezi, Zoho, Microsoft Sway, Wikis for Learning. I'm sure that there are like many more applications and softwares that we can use, and if you know any other ways that can help teachers have better classes, better online classes, feel free to write them down in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and also push the bell button next to the subscribe button so that you get notified every time I post a new video. If you haven't done it already, it's too rude now, okay? Because I really spend a lot of time gathering info for this channel, and just subscribe right now. That's it. See you in another video. Bye bye.